Hello Bootip, it's the one and only Icebound, Glaceon, and yeah, all you see is a bunch of logic gates on a platform. Wow, I'm already derping this already. Great representation of how this board works. Okay, so I figured I'd do a tutorial on, some logic basics, some things you should know before you start logic, or some things that would help you out in just, in general. I will be doing a tutorial on basic glitches. No glitch welds will be included in that. If you guys like this series, I'll do an intermediate one where I'll show harder logic gate stuff and then harder or glitch welds and stuff for that. And then I also got a few player launchers, which will be in a video. Well, that will also only go up if this gets enough likes. Then I don't know why I'm spinning them to my mic. It does not need to be a thing. So, first thing to show you guys. This is how you make a monostable circuit. So what it does is it takes a long pulse, or a short pulse, or a pulse that stays on, whatever, and it turns it into a single tick. I call it a monostable circuit because of Minecraft, but it's actually called a pulse shortener. Um, so you'll have a NOT gate, or NOR, or NAND, or X, doesn't matter, going into your AND gate. So when this gate is off, the NOR will say it's, it's off, so it turns on, right? And for that one tick in which this is changing from on to off, it will send one pulse, because it'll be on for one tick at the same time as this is going off, to that horn right there, right? And this only goes off, or only goes on the on cycle. When you turn it off, it doesn't go off again because, the power is not there, so why would it turn on? If you want it to turn on, in Minecraft we call it a dual edge monostable circuit. So it goes on the on cycle and then the falling edge as well. I can't remember what the names are called. Really. So basically you have a NOR into an XNOR. So you have on and off. Because for that one tick that it's, not on, this one is also not on, so it turns on. That's the easiest explanation I can give for that. And then we have a timer, a basic timer. So you have your switch going into your two gates. You can have the output on the timer, or you can have it on, the gate that has the end on it. So it'll be this one right here, right? So we could do that, right? Just so it's only on when the switch is on, or you can do it from the timer. It doesn't really matter. So you'll have the switch or button go into, well, preferably a switch, go into a logic gate that's an and then into a XOR, into a timer, and then looped back around. So basically, if this switch is on and it gets a pulse from there, it sends a pulse to here. This one gets a pulse first, because it's XOR. So it's on if it receives one pulse, but off if it receives two. Right? So it'll send a pulse to there, and then when this one's on and that one's on, it sends a pulse to here, turning it off, because it'll have this switch and that, the anti-power in. Sorry if I'm terrible at explaining these things, but meh. These are explanations I can give for now. This is called an RS NOR latch in Minecraft. Basically, it allows you to take say a button or even two different inputs and have an on or off cycle based on it. So you have one as an on switch and one as an off switch, right? So what this is useful for is, say if you have, if you want to know when it's on and when it's off, right? You have the on, and no matter how many times you flick that on switch, it's not going to go on again because it is already on, right? And then if you flip it off using the other switch, right, you'll have the other one go off. This doesn't like being thrown on lifts because it's got two NOR gates into an OR gate connected to each other, so for some reason it just flickers at one tick pulses and screws up, and the easiest way to fix that is to just give it a 2-tick pulse or more. You have your first gate or your first switch going into the NOR gate, that one going into the OR going into the other NOR, that's also connected to the switch, and then that goes right back around, so it's just looped. Basic setup. This is, say, if you want to have one input and an on and off, right? So this is what they call a memory bit. So basically you put in an input and it stays on. If you put in another input, it turns off. I've hooked up this switch to a, oh no, I've just done it to an XOR, or a NOR AND, so this is just a monostable circuit, it's not the dual edge. So this one will only go on the on and not the off. I can quickly change that to XOR and it'll go on the opposite as well. So if I click the switch, it goes on. If I turn off the switch, it's still on. And the only way to turn it off is to give it another pulse. The way this works is, I guess it's kind of a glitch. Not really. When you have 3 XORs, all, pointing into each other, you'll notice something if you do the math here or whatever. You look at it. You know how XORs don't like odd numbers, but they like and they like even numbers. They don't like one or the other. So if you have 3 going into each other and they're all powered by a 1-tick pulse at the same time, meaning they all get powered at the exact same time, they'll all be feeding on pulses into each other. And since they're all feeding on, they all stay on because it's all an even amount or an odd amount of inputs, which is what XOR likes. It doesn't like 2, it just likes 1, right? And if you give it another pulse, right, then that, all of them get that second input, and you know how they don't like 2 inputs, then they turn off. That's the reason that works. And then you have that going into, whatever your output is. I just have horns here and then lights over here. I don't know why I changed it up, but it works. So there's a cool thing you can do with the memory bits, is you can actually hook up multiple memory bits into each other, which would be the same as binary, because binary is 1s and 0s. You have on and off. And then also, you can go ahead or you can go further digits and stuff by having more memory gates into each other, which is more digits along the binary there, or as I said, we're escaping mirror now. Yeah, this is how you do that, and I know it's a little messy. So you have your on stable, right? So you have the on cycle, and this on cycle will go into this memory bit right here. So it tries to go into this AND gate, but since these are off, right, it won't actually output anything, right? So if you hit it, right, you have the first bit, so you'll have what, 0, or no, you'd have, yeah, just a 1, right? As your digit, you're looking at it like this. So you have just 1, or 0, 1, right? Before you had 0, 0. So then if you give it another tick pulse, since, the monostable circuit tries to go to this again and this one, right? It will turn this off, give a quick pulse to this AND gate, turning this one on. So if we give it another tick pulse, right here, there we go. So now you have 1, 0, right? Which is effectively 2, right? And then also if you give it a third pulse, since, this gate isn't on, it can't give another one to that one, so it just goes directly to this one again. Let's give it another pulse. There you go. And then you have 1, 1, which is effectively 3. Right? And then if you want to, say if it goes into here and here, right, because you can increase the length of it by just adding another AND gate and another memory bit and just have them feeding into each other. If you get another pulse, it'll go to here, turn that one off, and here, and turn that one off, which means it'll go reset back to 0. Right? So sure, this only goes up to 3, but still, it's helpful, kind of, I guess. Let's see, you have 1, 2, 3, and then that's it. You have your fourth one, but it's not really accessible. There's some things you could do with this called mapping or whatever. I don't know what this is called. You guys can tell me in the chat. It escapes me. There's a thing for it. Anyway. But yeah, you can decode memory bits and stuffs. Yeah. It's literally just a bunch of AND gates in the center. So you'll have your what? Your 2 bits here, and then you have your output. So you have, what's this one? I think this actually set up incorrectly. Oh, I'll have to figure it out eventually. As I said, this I didn't put here. Yeah, things. Greatest tutorial ever, yes. I noticed someone mentioned that they wanted a pulse shortener, but they didn't want it for one tick. They wanted it for more than one tick. So I figured, okay, well, let's just hook up the monostable circuit to a timer. And sure enough, we hit the switch. Yeah, this one's set to 4 ticks, which would output a 5-tick pulse because the other gate, each gate has a 1-tick delay in them. So yeah, the way this one works is you have it, going into your NOR AND, which is your monostable circuit, but instead of directly going over, it goes over with a delay of 4 ticks. So you have the 1 tick plus the 4 ticks, which is 5 ticks, and then output. It's helpful, I guess. It's a thing. Figured I'd just show it. As I said, greatest tutorial ever. Totally flawless. If you guys have any suggestions on any things you want me to show in Logic, let me know in the comments down below. I'm still new to this whole tutorial. Crap, I could be terrible. I could even redo this video because it's so bad. If you liked it and it helped you out, hit that like button. It tells me you want more of this kind of content. If it gets enough likes, I will do the step up. And sure, I may have been bad at describing this, but I have friends. They can help me, explain it better, pretty much. And then we can get into, bigger decoders and, yeah, answers. Binary. Oh. No, that's a decoder. That's a decoder, not a sequencer. I'm terrible. These are self-wired XORs. And then memory bits. I don't know why I'm messing that up. What's over here? Yeah, just memory bits. It's basically this one over here, but bigger because it has 4 digits. So it has that one. Go up to what? I don't even want to do the math. I'm terrible. Because it'd be 3, 6. I don't want to do the math. I'm terrible. I'm thinking 12 or 11 or something. I could be completely wrong. Probably exponential goes much higher. It's probably like 24 or something stupid like that. I don't know. Yeah. That tutorial will be going up shortly. I don't think I really have to build these on a platform showing you how they work because, well, see the gates, you can easily place them down and connect them. So, yeah. See you guys in the next tutorial. Bye.